Hey, welcome to another edition of Nerd News. We thought we'd change it up this week and talk about, I don't know, superhero rumors?
That's what you guys talk about every week.
Yes, Zach. But this week, we have Kenny.
Hey.
So the last bit of news that we're going to talk about is The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and some of the most recent set photos that have leaked.
God, set photos just keep ruining this.
They really do.
Everyone.
Because with these set photos, it seems like Gwen Stacy is sporting a very familiar outfit that longtime fans of the comics will recognize instantly.
Yeah, she's got these fishnets on, and she's got this
Blue.
like kind of.
It's like
beige-
She has a
dress.
teal jacket with a purple skirt combo with
fishnets.
thigh-high black boots.
Yeah. And it's the exact outfit she wears when she dies in the Spider-Man comics.
Tom, exact issue.
Exact issue number 127.
Right.
Killed by the Green Goblin.
Story called The Night Gwen Stacy Died.
Yeah.
But
Big,
just because she's wearing those clothes doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be dying in this film, does it?
mean,
It's true that doesn't mean B, but Marvel films particularly seem to really focus in on these details, and it just seems like so much of a coincidence that it would have to be true. Not to mention, just if you look at it from a purely more of a storytelling standpoint, they've cast Mary Jane already. They've gone ahead and said, Dennis Leary's death at the end of Amazing Spider-Man, sorry for those who haven't seen it yet, but haven't you seen it yet, foreshadows the idea that if he stays with Gwen Stacy, he's putting her in trouble, and the ending of the movie sort of tells you that he's going to ignore
Do
that
it anyway.
advice.
Yeah.
So I think they've sort of set it up, and I think the thing is with Amazing Spider-Man, it stayed so close to a lot of the things that we saw in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, that knowing where it's going doesn't necessarily take away from the experience.
I mean,
Mark Webb is an interesting, dynamic storyteller, and he made it a fun ride, even though I sort of knew what was going to happen. So if Gwen Stacy's going to die, I don't think that necessarily makes me not want to see Amazing Spider-Man or something.
I mean, we won't actually know until the movie happens, of
Right.
course. But the big thing is the idea that in the comics, the Lizard isn't the one that kills Captain Stacy; it's Doc Ock, and that was kind of a change that they could make because, Captain Stacy's death was big, but Gwen Stacy's death is iconic. Like, it's that one thing, and she has to die at the hand of the Green Goblin. Like, it's almost as like if she dies via Electro, that could be like really. I could have a tough time.
But it's not like they haven't cast the Goblin.
They
Technically not yet.
well, they've
They've
Chris
cast
Cooper.
Norman Osborn.
It could
You're
be.
getting into technicality.
It could be a whole thing where, Spidey 3 could pick up immediately from where 2 leaves off, and it could be the same day, and it could be like, the 2 could end with the birth of the Green Goblin, and then it goes straight into 3, and I don't know. There's so many possibilities, but I don't think. The one thing I don't think we can bring from this is that it's a coincidence. There is a reason she is dressed like that. There's always a reason why people are wearing specific costumes, and it looks so close to the original that it's got to have something to do with her death.
If it had the slightest variation, then we could dismiss it. But because it's so perfectly matching, you got to think that this might mean the end of Emma Stone in the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, and why they made such a big deal of Shailene Woodley being cast.
Yeah,
It's not like she didn't know it was coming. That was one of the reasons why she joined the film in the first place. Because
She mentioned that?
Yeah, in interviews she's mentioned that she was interested by the iconic death of Gwen Stacy, so she was curious as to how Mark Webb would do it. Maybe he's doing it now.
Yeah.
Right, so that does it for this edition of Nerd News. For more on the Pretentious FIlm Majors, go to pretentiousfilmmajors.com. And for more videos, check out the rest of our channel.